There we go. Hello again and welcome back to what will be the last part of Pokemon Emerald Legacy. You can just call me Stent. I say last part because I'm gonna make this the last part regardless of what happens. Last time I did unfortunately end up screwing myself out of a Kyogre by saving here when I probably shouldn't have. Which is unfortunate as well because here I was thinking, oh, I could probably just re-challenge the Elite Four and get Kyogre to respawn, like what happens in a fair few other of these Pokemon games. Apparently I was wrong. So, a little bit bummed out about it, obviously given all the jiggery pokery you may have seen in past parts. It's not the end of the world. I did ultimately end up trading one in, so at the very least we have the Pokédex entry. As you can see, there he is, this Kyogre. So I'm hoping that this stream is going to be a fair bit more manageable because this time we have 3 legendaries we're going to be tracking down in one battle. No fumbling around the Elite Four. This is it. I'm gonna keep going at this no matter how long it takes. I think I already mentioned beforehand that, unless thematically appropriate, I feel as though, generally speaking, I shouldn't really go into Pokemon post-games unless they really warrant it. Like, I think a good example of where it's warranted would be Gen 2 games where obviously you gotta go through the Kanto League. Probably just ending after fighting Red in that sense would probably make the most sense, as would be the other super boss in this game, which we are also going to be fighting this particular stream, at least I hope we're going to be getting to. Right. Obviously you don't want Sceptile to be just catching a fly like that, so I've saved in front of its Rayquaza so we can just reset. Again, it would be funny if, just like my friend back in the Scouts, I did inexplicably just come across a shiny Rayquaza while trying to catch this one. May as well do a little bit of a testing shot. I got a fair few Ultra Balls, so we should be fine for the duration of the stream. But knowing me, I'm probably going to end up going through all of them. Especially because I know Rayquaza to be quite tough to catch from experience. Like, the first time trying to catch Rayquaza ended up being one of the toughest towering experiences I've ever experienced in a long time, actually, with regards to Pokemon. Only really rivaled, I think, by Origin Giratina in Platinum. I think at the very least in here you can still catch while they're flying. And at the very least, this fight was also where I learned that you can hit flying enemies with Sky Uppercut and Thunder. Because I just so happen to have a Raichu and a Blaziken on my team. Also, yeah, also been playing a fair bit with the layouts of these GameCube streams as well. I'm hoping that this one is also acceptable. I think at the very least in this sense, the Game Boy borders does make it look a little bit more presentable. In fact, I could probably play around with it while I'm here. There we go, that seems a little bit more, what you'd sort of experience on a standard GBA screen. Oh. I thought we almost had it there. So I will admit, so nostalgic. Oh, no kidding. No kidding. I mean, granted, when it comes to fighting Rayquaza in Emerald specifically, I do tend to find, personally, that Rayquaza tends to not be as difficult in Platinum, mostly because I just, again, just come up here once the Groudon and Kyogre Cataclysm scenario is ended and just instantly catch Rayquaza in the Master Ball. Purple is cool for... Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm starting to think maybe I kind of want to get something like this as background for the very least the DS stream, as opposed to that fan one which I've had going constantly. Just generally feel it's a bit more me in that sense. Just, I suppose, speaking of which, I did also, in preparation for when the Flippy Drive eventually gets here, it's supposed to dispatch later this week, but knowing me, it's probably going to get delayed again. There we go. That didn't take too long at all. I mean, granted, I already traded over Rayquaza just in case it took too long, but yeah, we got Rayquaza. And Zinnia is not here to help us celebrate, which is unfortunate. Let's have a look at Rayquaza real quick. Let's have a look at Rayman. I suppose that's another game that I should probably consider streaming at some point, because, again, I never really got the chance to finish Rayman Revolution. A Pokemon that flies endlessly in the ozone layer. It is said that it would descend to the ground if Kyogre and Groudon were to fight. And tell them to go the fluff to sleep. Well, we're done here. So, next stop would be Fallabor Town, because there's a unique event there. Something nice is coming for the channel. Well, we can only hope. It's more just sort of something I want to get, so... no guarantees at this point, unfortunately. I mean, who knows? Maybe I might be able to find something. Yep, there's Rayquaza. There's Rayquaza. Brave Nature, not the best. At the very least, it has extreme speed to make up for it, and I suppose, if you really wanted to, it also has Dirk and Dance. I always found it kind of funny that for the longest time, Rayquaza's best moveset contains an event-exclusive move in V-Creates. I mean, I can't exactly blame them with how powerful V-Create is, it's just... it's basically impossible to get nowadays, so... if for some reason you're going into some sort of Uber's playlist which isn't on Smogon, you're kind of out of luck. Unless you just go with Earthquake, which I think most people just do anyway. Hello, Professor Cosmo.
Oh my, is that Rayquaza? You're truly full of surprises, Stent. Wait, what's this? The meteorite. It's reacting. It's shaking, but why? This has never happened before. Could it be the presence of Rayquaza is triggering something? Hold on. Oh, this is new.
The Chiquito Rayquaza.
My equipment is picking up seismic activity coming from an area called
Birth Island. Oh boy, I'm sure you know what this means.
The timing can't be a coincidence. Rayquaza's presence must be connected.
Here, take this. And we get the Aurora ticket. Normally only accessible via mystery gifts from Toys R Us, which you'd never be able to get unless you use save manipulation.
This ticket should allow you to reach Birth Island. You can use it at Lily Cove City Port. Please start to investigate this for me. We may be on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery.
Will do, but there's something I gotta do first since we're in Fallabor Town. Something which has been a long time coming. It's time we entered Meteor Falls. Honestly, with how seemingly quick Rayquaza was to get in the ball, I'm starting to suspect maybe, just maybe, the stream might be a little bit short. Ah well. Like I said, I wanted to get this done no matter what, so maybe... you know what? Given the time... let's check in here first.
If you make a Pokemon dig inside a cave, you've returned to the...
yes. Free escape ropes, basically. I don't think I've actually been in here yet.
Fossils are wonderful, it's so dreamy.
Desert...
oh, it's not safe that way. I was digging that way, you see, when the whole wall collapsed. I think there's a giant cavern underneath now. I've left it alone because I don't think there are any fossils there.
Well, I'll go see for myself, why don't I? Desert Underpass. You want to play Pokemon Black and White? I think I already mentioned at some point wanting to play Blaze Black or Volt White, because those Romhacks in particular I've heard so much about over the years, and I was like, you know what, I think it's high time I tried them out. So, maybe I'll put a poll out once I'm done with Explorers of Sky as to whether people want me to do Blaze Black, Volt White, or Yellow Legacy. Because those... Honestly, I'm fine doing either one of those. I'm super hyped about doing that, actually. Maybe just me, but I think I'm really starting to get more into a sort of classic Pokemon mood. I think I mentioned wanting to go back and watch the original series at some point. Still need to. Not sure I'll get a chance. Oh, hello again. Yes, this is where you can catch Ditto. For all your breeding needs. Wow, I've never... It's kind of weird, I've never actually had a Ditto not transform on the first turn, I think, ever. I mean, it's fairly easy to do, it's just kind of surreal, really. I doubt this one's IV is going to be any good, but I suspect I'm probably going to want to do this anyway, so I can get... at the very least, Torchic and Mudkip, because you can get them. You can get all 3 starters this time around. Still feel it was a little bit of an oversight, not allowing you to re-challenge the legendaries, though. Especially just giving Kyogre Double Edge. That just seemed kind of boneheaded. Oh, what, still waiting to play Master Chef. I'm sure... I'm also thinking maybe putting out a poll for what people want me to do with regards to Halo, because obviously I'm just going to be sticking with the Bungie games, because why wouldn't I? Can catch me in this game? Yes, I am aware, but unfortunately I'm not going to be doing that this particular series, unfortunately. This is going to be the last part. Disappointing, I know, but I'll be honest, I'm at the point where I kind of want to move on to playing something else, if that's alright with you. Again, yeah, it is possible to catch Mew in this this particular ROM hack by catching all the Pokemon in the National Dex. And it's something I potentially could have done, but I kind of can't help but feel that probably would have been a little bit disingenuous, not actually catching them all and just trading them in. Mew maybe in Pokemon. That is interesting, actually, because I'm fairly certain every single Pokemon in the National Dex is catchable in Blaze Black and Volt White. At least as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong. Get in the ball already, Sceptile. You know what? Well, we'll see if we can catch you in 99 Pokeballs. If we get down to 99, then I'll just KO you. Alright. You got 2 more chances. 2 more chances to get in the ball before I erase you. 1 more chance. Yeah, that still stings, even despite the, Walter White. I suspect there's gonna be plenty of jokes about that if I end up playing Volt White. Also, you've had your chance. You've had your chance, Ditto. Sorry. Maybe when I'm off stream, but for now, I gotta save all these Ultra Balls. You couldn't let me... You couldn't just let me go, could you? Here, take that. That's what I thought. Bye-bye. Okay. Repels, repels, repels. Esmeralda. There we go. I just want to come down here real quick. I think you can also get all the other fossils in this game, like, Helix and Dome. Obviously, you're gonna want me to see Lord Helix. Here we go, Claw Fossil. This is where it ended up after Mirage Tower. Now I just have to go on the long walk back. So what's the game plan for this session? Well, we've already completed step 1, which is catch Rayquaza. You see the new Marimon. Was that the one where it's Pokemon, but it's all Mario characters? I think I've seen bits and pieces of that, but yeah. Itinerary, we've already captured Rayquaza, so there's 2 more legendaries that I want to catch this stream. And aside from that, there's also one particular trainer who we need to settle a score with. And if we have time, then probably more fossil hunting, probably a bit of breeding. We'll see. Again, I wanted to dedicate a fair bit of time just to get everything I wanted to do off of here. So if everyone was sort of expecting this to be a 100% run, then sorry to disappoint. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows, maybe we can dedicate a fair bit of portion to just making a secret base, who knows. I do gotta wonder though, what exactly would be considered the best layout for a secret base in this game? Because I know that in Oras there was just a lot of arguments, or at the very least just a lot of fighting over real estate, where you just had all these areas with dedicated secret bases. All filled with trainers with obviously hacked blissies. For the sole purpose of level grinding. Which, I'm not gonna lie, it was certainly some of the most effective level grinding in the series, oddly enough. I think we're also gonna end up fighting all the trainers in here. I will admit I do quite like the color change for Meteor Falls. Maybe it's just because all these purple ledges as opposed to it just being bright yellow in Ruby Sapphire. I guess I just figured it didn't seem meteor-y enough. I don't know though, the fact that it's Meteor Falls in Ruby Sapphire looked like it was made of gold. I can't help but feel that made it feel a little bit more special, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, I imagine that a lot of people are still hung up on the Cyberpunk the Cyberpunk stream this last weekend. I did definitely enjoy doing that, even though it was an emotional roller coaster to say the least. Definitely looking forward to continuing that next week. Not entirely certain if it's still going to be quite the emotional roller coaster, but who knows? Rest. What are you playing at, Hariyama? I'm certainly glad a lot of these battles go by at fairly high speed. I'm still thinking with regards to a lot of these Pokemon streams. There's always at least one Pokemon which stands out as a major character in these playthroughs. Obviously here it's a zoom roll, it's just being the unlikely hero of the early game. The champion even visits, ooh. Next week time for revenge? Admittedly I do have my own plans for the next Cyberpunk stream. Revenge-wise, I think our options are kind of limited. But we'll see, we'll see. Hopefully it's going to be a fair few more laughs or such next stream. Because I did say I wanted to focus more on side quests for a bit. Before following that up on probably making a poll actually as to which quest line people want me to do first, that either being Judy or Panam. Feels like it could go either way really, I don't really mind, just curious as to what people want me to prioritize. just want to go down here real quick. Loot this place of items. Pad out the stream. Ah, yes. This room. This room. This is normally where you'd catch your Bagons in Vanilla Emerald. And Ruby Sapphire, really. It also stems into an issue which I've noticed. I think a lot of people actually noticed with regards to Bagon's distribution in this game, which the Romhack has gone and fixed. That mainly being accessibility. You need Waterfall in order to get Bagon, which requires you to beat the 8th gym. But at this point in the game, you can just go to Skypill, use your Master Ball, and Rayquaza. So in that sense, why would you ever get a Salamence in Emerald? At least here it makes sense in the fact that you can technically get it earlier, but... generally speaking, in normal cases, you're better off with Rayquaza. Everyone seems that this is like a moving years. I wouldn't go that far, I wouldn't go that far. Obviously, we still have to venture into this room. I think the room which is considered infamous for many Pokemon players, especially the unprepared. Only question is, who do I want as my lead? Well, I'm thinking maybe God of War. God of War hasn't really gotten much screen time, I've noticed. It's mostly just been Sceptile, or Salamence, or Azumarill, Metagross. Kind of feels as though God of War has kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit. Chiquito Rayquaza. Random question, how'd you pronounce schedule? Schedule. As opposed to, I guess, schedule? Honestly, schedule just sounds kind of odd to me. Schedule just seems to, make more sense to me, weirdly enough. Or at the very least, that's how I've always had it pronounced to me. Anyways, hello, Steven. I'm here for the rematch. Oh, wow, Stant, I'm amazed you even knew where to find me. Do you, maybe think of me as just a rock maniac? No, that can't be right. We battled alongside each other at the Moss Deep Space Center. You should have a very good idea of how good— Yes, we fought! We fought at Evergrande City. Watching Andrew lately and the Empire, just people pronounce it schedule. I think they... I'm thinking back to Return of the Jedi, I'm pretty sure they pronounced it schedule there. Which kind of seems like a weird oddity, just... Same series, yet they pronounce it entirely differently. I've been thinking, actually, with regards to, May the 4th celebrations and just, Star Wars stuff in general. I'm starting to think maybe my best way of celebrating Star Wars from now on is just a double bill of Fun Wars and, Spaceballs. Because it has been a fair while since I watched Fun Wars. Mostly just thought of it because I, watched a little bit of clips from Kung Pao Enter the Fists, which was made by the same guy. How are the day? I'm glad it's over. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I started up POKéMondays, because it's just one of those things where it's like getting back into work. Oh, I have this thing to look forward to at the end of Monday, so the week doesn't seem quite as long. Okay, Stant, if you're going to surmount a serious challenge, expect the worst. And for some reason, he uses the rival theme. Give Ander a watch, highly. Yeah, weirdly enough, I heard actually that Ander picked up in the latter half. Okay, Armaldo. So much for God of War being 76. I made a terrible mistake. Azumarill, fix. Oh, that was a crit. I was gonna say, I think we're in trouble. Gonna go down swinging. Yeah, I didn't actually expect Steven's team to be quite so powerful. I think my best bet is here to just Metagross. Medium Ash. I'm faster. Go on. Go down. Go down. Ah. Oh, and Earthquake as well. Immediately, we're off to a fantastic start, I've noticed. Yeah, I suspect we might be here a while. I've saved, so we could just self-reset if we fail, and reorganize, replan, reload. Relatively slow burn with interesting political fatigue, ground information over rebellion, and empire slowly increasing the strand level. Yeah, aside from that one controversial scene, which I thought was kind of gonna break Kandor. Oh, Tyranitar as well. Hello, old friend. Ah yes, my trauma. I think I already mentioned this back in an earlier part. I have a lot of trauma when it comes to Tyranitar, mostly just from the rival champion rematch in Fire Red Leaf Green, where your rival just apparently just has a Tyranitar with insane coverage. Yeah, I suspect this isn't gonna go well. Worst case scenario, I could just swap into Salamence, lower attack, and then just Brick Break. Or maybe double switch into Sceptile, actually. That might... Yeah, I'm gonna double switch into Sceptile. I think Salamence is probably gonna get better mileage out of this fight. Sceptile, I'm hoping you're not here's to hoping you don't have Aerial Ace. Yeah, there's the Rock Slide. Somehow I knew you were gonna do that. That was with his that was with his attack dropped. Jeez Louise. You know what? Here's a little bit of chip damage for you. Just in case. I suppose it's kind of pointless, really, considering Focus Sash doesn't exist. Leaf Blade. Tyranitar's a classic. Yeah, I really like Tyranitar too. Just, again, I have a lot of trauma with Tyranitar from my youth. From, the battle mode in Colosseum as well, where one of the trainers just had a Dragon Dance Tyranitar and a Follow Me Togetic. So you'd try to attack the Tyranitar, and Togetic would just divert all your attacks, and the Tyranitar would just completely steamroll you. I'm thinking I want a clean switch in, so, here's some chip damage for you, Metagross. Already bringing out his ace, though. I'm guessing he's, he understands the situation. Fire Punch! That's not a physical move, you silly. Alright, slacking. Slacking. It's time. Another oh yeah, I just realized we're dealing with Sandstream as well. So, all this Pokemon just have a special defense boost. Also permanent chip damage. That too. Alright, I'm not expecting Slacking to survive this turn. Or at least survive until his next turn. I can't heal up, so, yes, Psychic. Yes, Psychic. I was thinking I might survive that crit. Of course it's a crit. Alright, God of War, you can... I'm sure you can pick off Metagross. You're relatively tanky. Thunderbolt. Oh, great. Here I was thinking, oh yeah, you can just pick off Metagross. Nope. No. No. Well... We got half the team down at least. I'm not sure I really have... Oh, Steelix, wonderful. Just what I need to switch Gardevoir, to have switched into Gardevoir. Yeah, this is gonna be ugly. The real hero for the history. I probably would have leveled everyone up to 75 if I knew, or at least remembered that Steelix was... that his team was this level, just to put us on an even playing field, but, oh, Iron Tail as well, wonderful. Yeah, I think we've lost. I wasn't actually expecting Steelix to get one-shot by that, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, Aerodactyl, yeah, it's definitely over now. Nothing's outspeeding Aerodactyl, and he has type advantage, so, Oh, Sky Attack. Nice, just sort of style on me, I suppose. Right, let's try that again. This time, since I know he's leading with Armaldo, I'm going to lead Azumarill, I think. Because I definitely like to keep Metagross in the back for later on, because I think he's gonna be useful for Aerodactyl, assuming it doesn't have Earthquake. Let's try this again, Penfold. I'm thinking this might be what actually takes up the bulk of the stream, actually. Just trying to bang my head against this wall. Love the button. Yeah. It's like I have experience with this series. In the same... Come on, Azumarill, you can... That was a crit. Great. Alright. Have that. Are you kidding me, game? You know, I want to... I know this isn't exactly fair, but I kind of want to just, see if a Surf will do any more damage to him. You know, it's the same as blowing into cartridges when they start to malfunction, even though I'm not entirely certain that actually works. As opposed to just sort of cleaning fluid and, cotton swabs. Alright, let's try a Surf. Come on, you can't get a... You can't roll that crit a third time. That still did more than half of Azumarill's health. Okay, that did more. Yeah. Wait, Azumarill survived that. How? How, game? Make it make sense, game. Seriously, how did Azumarill survive that? Oh, there's T-Tar. I'm not expecting Azumarill to survive this turn, so, we ball. We ball! Okay, Sceptile. Maybe fun to do double priority against Aerodactyl later on, who knows? Have that. Make it make sense, game. Huh? What was that? What? I can only guess he has Choice Band? I think that must be why his attacks do so much damage. I think this is banded. At least that's what makes sense to me. Okay, Brick Break. Yeah, I outspeed T-Tar. And then... Oh, already into Aerodactyl. Nice. It's kind of weird. Normally, in most cases, you'd expect Aerodactyl to be banded. Alright, let's see what you do. Yep, Rock Slide. I can tank that. I can survive anything. Except, Earthquake. Meteor Mash. Yep, he's locked. I think he's locked into Rock Slide. So no idea what that Tyranitar was on. To deal that much damage with a non-effective attack. Down you go. Next. Pile them on. Okay, there's his Metagross. Still thinking I want to switch slacking into this. Because I feel that Metagross is going to be useful later, so, slacking, it's time. Surely you can tank one of these hits. Oh, of course it's a crit. Why wouldn't it be? Right. I can at least get good damage off on you. Paddleberg Woods sends its regards. And then just send in Salamence to mop up. Seems reasonable. At least here's to hoping the Fire Blast doesn't miss now. Fire Blast! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're doing better. We're doing better at the very least. This is Cradley. Kind of nervous about this one, not gonna lie. I'm gonna swap into Metagross, actually. Because I feel Medium Ash would probably do better in terms of mileage. Oh, he's doing Curse. Of course he's doing Curse. This is like his main thing. That's fine, though. I could just... Metagross, please! Don't do this to me right now. I need you on your A game, buddy. I just realized he's got the special defense boost from Sandstorm as well. This thing's gonna end up being unkillable. Unless I get lucky. Yeah, he's just sitting there spamming Curse the... Is he seriously just gonna go to +6? It better not go to +6. Oh, and leftovers as well. Lovely. And I can't even use Explosion on him because he's a rock type. Oh, and Rest. I think he seriously feels like he's back for revenge after what happened with me critting him twice during the championship fight. Can't say I blame him. But I can fight back. I have attack boosts. Oh, Sleep Talk. Oh, no. It's a Rest Talk variant. Are you kidding me, game? Just what I needed. Just... I think the best thing I can do is just fish for attack boosts, I think. Yeah, pretty much waste your turn. I mean, I can only assume he has at least one attacking move, which I'm guessing is going to be Rock Slide. Because that would only make sense on Cradley. Cradley, please. Metagross, please. Please, Metagross. You know what? You know what? I've had enough of you. It was probably a mistake, but I don't care. Because... I could probably just Calm Mind on you. Or at the very least do decent damage with Psychic. Alright, let's do a ranging shot. You kidding me, game? You kidding me? This is just like Kingdra, but worse. Right. I probably shouldn't have just I think I just lost my temper with Metagross, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Ancient Power. What's the plan? Lose. That's the plan. Wait. I was gonna say Gardevoir survived that, but, no. I am thinking, actually, this might be bad. Because if we can't beat Steven here, then I may have to resort to, drastic measures. I'm gonna say drastic measures. I was gonna say just, train all my Pokemon up to 75, but I think I may just end up having to get, one of my, frontier Pokemon just to, speed things along. I'll probably give myself a handicap, though, just giving myself one. That seems like it would be enough. You know, give everybody else on the team a fighting chance, why don't I? Yeah. I'm not sure why I reset, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Well, it would be nice to spend all night here trying to fight Steven. I, would rather not. So, drastic measures it is. I know it's a little disappointing, but again, I did say the stream wanted to get this done, so I'm getting this done. I mean, I mostly say that because in preparation, things going wrong this stream, I came prepared. Let's go in here, PC, yes. I have all these Pokemon to choose from now. I mean, I'm probably gonna need something waterfall related just to get up there, so may as well take my own advice. Hey look, it's a Final Fantasy reference. Sorry, Salamence, you're gonna have to sit this one out, buddy. It's a shame as well, because, you fought... You know what? Slacking. Go to sleep, buddy. I don't think you're gonna be getting much mileage in this fight. Okay, general strategy is gonna be... bring the Rayquaza out only as a last resort. Because I think that should be enough to break past even Cradily. Yeah, I think this should be enough. It's not a Dragon Dance variant, but it should do the job. Again, I just want to get this done. And you can... I suppose in this way you get to see me... You get to experience the full power of my Jiggery Pokeray, my mastery over the code. I wouldn't say code, just mastery over the game and the control, I suppose. I'm not entirely certain as to whether this counts as Pokemon Mastery, but, I mean, I did catch Mewtwo in a Pokeball once, so that has to count as something. As I was gonna say earlier, actually, in preparation for getting my Flippy Drive, which should probably be shipping today, later this week, we'll probably get delayed again, I got myself a new, shell for my GameCube, because I remember seeing a lot of people online like, I miss the days when consoles and other gadgets were made out of clear plastic. So I got myself a clear plastic shell for my GameCube, a purple one, to match my GBA. My modded GPA. Figured that seemed thematically appropriate. Also, just, I like the idea of having a clear purple GameCube. You could say, well, hey. I mean, once I eventually get my Flippy Drive and assemble the GameCube, I'll probably end up putting up a, a picture of it on the channel. Just make a nice little post out of it. See how people view it, because I generally do quite like the idea of a clear purple GameCube. I know it's not going to be quite one-for-one, considering I'm going to be modding a black GameCube, but I still generally think the I still think it should look pretty good afterwards. Probably going to be weird with the extra back panel that comes with the flippy drive, though. It's kind of a shame. I mean, this does come with its own back panels, but I'm not gonna say, would you consider getting yourself a second screen for your PC? Would certainly make streaming a little bit easier for you. I mean, maybe. Again, my setup's kind of awkward because it's more sort of... I don't really have a monitor, more so a TV. So, given how my setup is, I don't think a second monitor is strictly feasible. Which is why I've mostly just been using my iPad to look at chat. I mean, at that point, may as well just get a second PC so I can actually run a fully fledged PNG tuber model. Well, not PNG tuber, more so VTuber model. Seriously, what is it? Oh, it was a neutral hit. Right, game, right. Depending on your working ideas, into just streaming. We'll see, we'll see. Metagross. I'm not certain as to whether Metagross is faster than Tyranitar. Suppose it's time we found out. There's one likely better to ditch the TV and get two PC models for better efficiency. I mean, I suppose, but at that... Oh, it's a Solak Berry. What is this thing? I think I screwed myself a little bit here. Yup. Somehow I knew it would come to this. Come on, Metagross, you can yes, you can tank an Earthquake. I mean, to be fair, I also use this TV to, at least in theory, watch stuff. Like DVDs and movies and such, so... it would kind of be a shame to let it go. You have found the card? I haven't collected any of the cards in ages. I just figured that, especially with the non-stop scalping epidemic that seems to revolve around the Pokemon trading card game, that it wasn't really worth getting back into. Kind of a shame, really, because I know for a fact that a lot of people... I mean, the artwork's definitely good at the very least. Yeah, I think I may have to just sort of break out Rayquaza, you know, ace for ace. I know I said I'd use this as a last resort, but, things are definitely not looking good. Have an overheat. I'll be honest, I have no idea how exactly this Rayquaza spec'd out. I kind of forgot, in all honesty, but, because I don't remember Rayquaza having that high of a health pool, to say the least. Alright, it's kind of a shame that I lost Metagross. Would have been very good against Aerodactyl here. I think my best bet is just to Intimidate, maybe switch into Gardevoir, see if I can get off a Thunderbolt. Because I don't want to rely wholesale on Rayquaza. Even with the attack drop, that still did so much. This whole stream is a farce. Okay, oh... sucks as well, because I don't think I actually have a good move to use against Aerodactyl. It's like, I don't have a Dragon Claw. My best bet is just to... let's see, Hidden Power Flying. Earthquake, Extreme... I think Hidden Power Flying just for the stab. Oh, and... I forgot that Sky Attack deals is flinching as well. I think my best bet is to just try and stall out PP stall him and just wait for him to start struggling. Or, you know, just do this. Still not great. There we go. No PP left the sky attack. You're helpless. You're helpless. And I am below half HP, so this is bad. There's Cradley. I kind of want to see how much damage Hidden Power Flying does, actually. Oh. It's actually super effective now. Wasn't expecting that. Super cathartic. Yeah, and there's Steelix. I'm probably gonna swap out and swap back in to do Overheat. Again, apologies for just sort of the cheap way of ending this fight, but I would just didn't want this whole stream to just be me trying to punch through a mountain of... Really? Maximum health on it. Was I sure? I'm guessing because it has extreme speed, it just seems like a super strange setup for a Rayquaza. Let me just double check real quick. Okay, swap back in. I think Azadiah might be able to tank a hit. Yeah, let's have a look at what is recommended for Rayquaza in... No, that seems like the ideal move for Gen 3 Ubers. Just maximum health for some reason. There we go, goodbye. Goodbye, Steven. So let's see, hidden power... Oh, it was hidden power bug. Apparently. Then overheat, then earthquake, and extreme speed. Yes, I think most people just run hidden power. Oh, I think that must have been why it did super effective damage against Cradley, because it was bug. I had no idea you become so cheap. Resorting to legendaries like this. Come to think of it, ever since our past crossing Granite Cave in Dewford, I had this feeling. I thought you'd eventually become the champion, and then become a cheating scumbag. My prediction's usually true. And where do we go from here? Even I couldn't tell you that. Eon tickets. Yeah, for beating Steven, your reward is the Eon ticket. Yet another event-exclusive item. And I suppose this is the big question. Which one do we go do first now? Eon ticket or Aurora ticket? I kind of feel that Aurora ticket would probably be the better suited for a finale to this whole thing, so I'll probably do Eon ticket first. Steven the Salt Bag. I mean, you say that, he's probably still nowhere near as salty as Justy. At least with him cheating is kind of justified, considering how he just uses evasion stats constantly. Nothing but Sand Veil and Double Team with him. Okay. Again, I really didn't want to have to resort to that, but I have things to do, and I'm reckoning that most of the stream is just going to be made up of me just trying and failing to capture the last two legendaries, because you never know with these things. They have a catch rate of 3 as far... Oh. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that this particular Rayquaza has POKéRUS on it. So, yeah, kind of just spoiled that for my entire playthrough. POKéRUS for everybody. Let's see who else has POKéRUS. It's, okay, it's just Rayquaza. I could probably just keep him in the box then, because I suppose this is... I'm pretty sure everybody knows what POKéRUS does already. It's basically just doubles the amount of EVs you gain from fights. It's funny as well, because I remember a particular episode of Pokemon Chronicles where Team Rocket kidnapped Professor Oak in a stuffed Nidoqueen doll and tried to interrogate him on how Pokerus works. It's been a long time since I watched Pokemon Chronicles. The one I mostly remember are the ones with Misty and the Team Rocket one where they was mistaken for superheroes, and of course Legend of Thunder, as I probably mentioned in an earlier stream with Mr. And Your Galoshes too. Thinking... Kinda want to send out Gardevoir for this one. No particular reason. Sounds like good episodes of Pokemon. It's weird though, because I don't think I watched all of them, because I remember in the intro there was one with like a giant ice slide, which I think involved the Pichu brothers, and I never saw that one. The ferry to Sleepport is... oh, that pass. Is it you who brought these old tickets? These tickets will get you to the islands that are far, far away. No one knows what awaits there or what'll happen there. Very what excites the blood of a sailing man. Get on board, youngster. Where shall we head sail first? We're going to South Island. I can never escape it. We're gonna get there and it's gonna be nothing but green hills. Yep, for some reason this just has the SS, I suppose just the abandoned shipwreck theme. Going in here, in a layout that kind of reminds me, weirdly enough, of New Moon Island. I guess they just do this for all of the island. Those whose memories fade seek to carve in them their hearts. Word salad. Hey Tails, we're headed back to South Island. Hey Tails, remember South Island, remember? Sonic, for the last time, can you stop saying these ridiculous things? I don't understand what you're saying. I kind of feel sort of conflicted with regards to the characterization of Sonic and Tails in these sort of skits I do, where maybe it's just me wanting to do the whole shut up Tails thing from the OVA, but I don't really have the chance. Anyways, here we are at South Island with this weird looking thing, and there's Latios. Yeah. This is essentially where you'd get the other Lati twin if you picked one. Oh, level 50. So already good and ready for, what was it? The Battle Frontier. Just need to hopefully try and get enough EVs into this thing. Let's try a Thunderbolt! The reflex in this game is so realistic. Yeah, there's Luster Purge, which I'm not entirely certain if it's been buffed in the same way it has in Gen 9. That seems super weird to me. It only took until Gen 9 for them to buff Mist Ball and Luster Purge. It's like these moves which are supposed to be exclusive to Latios and Latias, and yet... oh, it has Recover. Right, we're gonna be here for... alright, just as long as you don't have Memento, we're fine. Because... I will admit, when it came to trying to catch Latios, I remember finding that super harrowing, not gonna lie. Just the fact that I'm trying to catch Latios the same way I tried to catch Latias all the way back in Sapphire, and all of a sudden it would just use Memento and just die instantly. Ah yes, just like the latest Marvel movie, yay! We're so back, guys. We haven't been this back since the last Marvel product. Yeah, again, I think I already mentioned this, but the last Marvel product that I watched was Spider-Man Homecoming. Just sort of wrote the whole thing off, because I knew it was gonna end as badly as Star Wars was, considering it came from the same place. And ultimately, it seems I was right. At the very least, with Marvel, I think they're at least trying and floundering to recover, where Star Wars just seems to be more than eager to just crash into the center of the earth and explode. At least with the exception of Andor, by the sounds of it. Not sure if it's indicative of things to come, but if it is, it's too little too late, I'd say. Just there's been plenty of time since 2017 to try and fix Star Wars, and they've gone out of their way to just ignore it at every turn. Because I don't think, unless they just put it on ice for 10-15 years, there's no coming back. Seriously, so many Thunderbolts, and not one Paralysis proc. Alright game. Here, have an Ultra Ball. Is this gonna be like Jirachi, where I constantly struggle to catch you? I have a feeling this is gonna be like Jirachi, isn't it? Alright. One of these is bound to proc Paralysis eventually. I just noticed Psychic and Luster Purge. Wake me when you need me, and the day never came. Yeah. It really does seem indicative of Halo as well, I've noticed. Because again, I think most people just sort of written off everything that has come after Halo Reach. At least I have. Thanks a bunch, Gardevoir. I need you to paralyze, not crit. Let's try this again. I have a feeling we're going to be on South Island for a while. Best get strapped in, everybody. Green Hill's looking a lot more like hot garbage right now. Me never playing through Sonic Forces. I think that's the bad thing, is that being a Sonic streamer, I feel as though I'm sort of obligated to stream Forces at one point, but I don't want to. I just sort of want to ignore everything that came out between Generations and maybe Frontier and just pretend none of it happened. With the exception of Mania, as I have to mention obligatory, out of obligation. I mean, I do like Mania, it's just I'm not sure Mania was worth all the terrible stuff that came out between Generations and Frontiers. It's like you had Lost World with its terrible script, you had the Boom series, which was, in my mind, sort of antithetical to a lot of what Sonic stood for. Mostly just with earnesty and authenticity being replaced with self-deprecation. And Forces. Less said about that, the better. I think I already mentioned this, but at one point during a discussion about Sonic games, I legitimately forgot Forces happened, and I was happy in the fact that, oh, I could actually forget this game. It is actually possible for me and my, I was gonna say dementia, but that's no laughing matter. It does sort of feel as though I have dementia at some points, but I think you get my point. I could just forget about all these games I don't like and just pretend they don't happen. I could just pretend that the sequel trilogy happened. I could just pretend that there was no Star Trek after 2005. I could just pretend that Russell T. Davies didn't come back to run Doctor Who into the ground. Because I have been keeping a little bit of track with the Doctor Who stuff, at least on the periphery. Sonic 4 coming 2027. I mean, last I heard, it was supposedly coming out early to 2026, meaning that, again, 2026 is likely going to be stunning and brave year of Amy. I still find it funny that people actually were hoping for a year of Silver. It's like, it's unlike characters like Shadow, he just never really caught on in the cultural landscape. It's like general audiences just know Silver as, oh, that one cheap boss from that bad game that almost tanked the franchise. I mean, I say almost tanked the franchise. It's kind of surreal, actually, hearing about how allegedly the game that almost tanked Sonic Team was Unleashed, and that was mostly just because of the budget. It's like they really went all out on that game to try and push the series to the limits. as well as the Xbox 360. I never actually realized just how Unleashed very nearly killed Sonic. It's kind of surreal to think about, actually. I mean, I definitely enjoyed Unleashed, just, I don't think it was worth just breaking the entirety of Sonic Team for, like, a decade over. Because after that, obviously, budgets got significantly lower. And I suppose after that, the games felt a bit less uninspired, with the exception maybe of Black Knight. And maybe it's just me not really being a big fan of Colors. I should probably replay Colors at some point, just to see if I was right about it being not that great. But I do remember enjoying Colors, but it's one of those things where I don't think it's particularly aged well, at least in terms of its writing. Gameplay-wise, I'm sure it's still relatively solid, although not my personal cup of tea. Because again, I've been thinking about this a fair bit more, actually. At least in terms of art style, I kind of wish we would go back to, for instance, just the more 90s aesthetic. Because I think I'm becoming a bit more of a fan of the Saturn aesthetic, if that makes sense. I could kind of be curious to see them go back to more of a Saturn look for a lot of the characters. Just sort of this, I suppose, a blend between classic/OVA and the adventure designs. Or maybe this is just me brainstorming in my mind. Not sure if anything will come of it. And obviously it's not going to happen, but one can dream. Also, yeah, this is what I imagined the Rayquaza fight was going to be like. Just me just struggling to keep it in the bowl. At least Rayquaza was surprisingly cooperative. Whereas here, it's just getting me more of me afraid to attack Latios, as afraid that it's going to get knocked out instantly. Yeah, I think I'm better off just sticking to just throwing Ultra Balls normally and not bothering attacking, because I just know I'm probably going to one-shot it, at least it's slacking. How are the work? Still a little bit concerned about a couple of things, but I don't. It's more I don't think that's something that really should be on stream, if that makes sense. As far as I'm aware, there's still a fair bit of confidential, sorry, stuff that goes on at work, so rather just sort of keep it on the hush-hush, if that makes sense. And here I am, still flubbing and mixing up words. Feels as though nothing's changed. In your own time, Latios. I know you're like the best Pokemon in the game, but there's no need to overstay your welcome. We still got places to be. We still got one more Pokemon to catch after you. You're not even the last stop, bucko. Yeah, I was kind of afraid that would happen. Alright. Sceptile, you could probably just wear this down with extreme speed. Because I'm at the very least confident that extreme speed will do less damage to it than, say, a Leaf Blade crit. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I just have to hope this thing doesn't recover again. I don't remember if they nerfed the PP of all the healing moves in this game like they do in the later games, where they went brought it down from 10 to 5. I do definitely appreciate that, though. As much as I sort of miss being able to just do super bulky recovery stuff with Umbreon. I mean, you can still technically do that with Wish and Moonlight, just, Actually, yeah, Umbreon's unaffected, what am I talking about? Probably gonna switch into Metagross, because I think it can resist all its attacks, considering it's all Psychics. Now we just sit here and wait for Latios to get in the ball. In your own time, buddy. It is kind of wild to me actually looking at them, looking at Smogon. That's apparently Latios is just like the ultimate counter to Groudon and Kyogre, which is supposedly like the two best Pokemon in the game, surpassing Mewtwo. I suppose it's mostly just because of move pool, because obviously it gets Calm Mind, it gets Thunder for Latios, it gets Solar Beam for Groudon, it gets Ice Beam for general coverage with... I suppose I could just do Bolt Beam actually, Stab Dragon Claws for Rayquaza. I keep calling him Rayquaza when that's not actually his name. I'm just thinking back to this old sort of intentionally bad fanfic / video where Rayquaza was just pronounced Rayquaza. And I still prefer it over Rayquaza. You know, good old Rayquaza from the anime. I don't even know how it seems like you'd have to intentionally try and mispronounce it like that. I mean, I'm guessing they're going off of Quasar. But even so, Rayquaza just rolls off the tongue better. Rayquaza sounds a little bit more nerdy. I suppose that's the point. Actually, it's Rayquaza. Let's see what else you can do with Latios. So yeah, for the looks of it, yeah, it's Calm Mind, Thunder, Dragon Claw, Solar Beam. I'm guessing Dragon Claw is mostly just opposing Latios and Latias and Rayquaza. Yeah. Which is weird, because you'd think Ice Beam would do for Rayquaza, but I guess not. What does it say about Ice Beam on here? Okay, it's mostly just... Okay, Ice Beam mostly just seems to be for Gordon. Even then, I suppose there's no point carrying Ice Beam if you have Solar Beam for Gordon. It also seems kind of weird that Latios is super geared towards physical attack with Dragon Dance and a base 90 attack stat. Just... why would you ever use a physical moveset on this thing when it's clearly meant for special attacking? Especially with the Soldu in mind, which, I suppose there's a little bit of spoilers, but... I do kind of find it crazy just how powerful the Soldu used to be back in the day. I don't see how this is more epic, it's just me just... constantly just throwing Ultra Balls at a stationary target. Just watching that counter just tick away. It's only a matter of time before he ends up using Struggle. We don't have all day, Latios. I must imagine this must be just the most riveting content on the planet. Just me sitting here, just waiting for Latios to get in the ball. Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna be the next one? Is it gonna be the next one? Yeah, I will be honest, I kind of feel these are the weaker aspects of these Pokemon streams for me, just waiting for the Legendary to get in the ball. I think it's stuff like this, actually, it sort of dissuades me from wanting to strictly go into more post-game with these Pokemon games. Unless there is a substantial post-game, which... I'm not entirely certain as to whether Emerald strictly qualifies for that. I mean, I know Sapphire and Ruby definitely don't. Colosseum maybe, considering the main game is so short anyways. Gale of Darkness, maybe not, considering... post-game in that sense, aside from maybe Dragonite. Because you still gotta catch the last of the shadow Pokemon in that game. That actually reminds me as well. I could potentially stream the Pokemon Ranger games. It has been a long time though, so I'll probably just end up disintegrating my wrist in the process. I'm just thinking, oh, I have a timer ball. You know what, let's throw in a timer ball. It's been a while. Let's see what this does. Yeah, that's what I thought. And all this while, Metagross has just been sitting here just recovering off of every single hit thanks to leftovers. I kind of feel bad for this Latios, actually. Just Metagross is just like the perfect wall against this guy. And he's just sitting there, just waiting until he's forced to use Struggle, in which case the fight's probably over. Again, like I said, this is gonna be the last part, so it's gonna keep going until we catch these last two legendaries, which I plan on catching, so buckle in, I suppose. Because we've still yet to get to Burf Island. I'm guessing at the very least, he's just resorting to sticking to Dragon Dance because he's run out of PP for all his up. Yep, he's just using Dragon Dance. I think the time is coming for him to eventually start using Struggle, which we'll see how it fares when he's at +6. Also, not sure whether you can hear the bubble lamp from where I'm situated. It's basically just right behind my head. Again, here's hoping that I still have enough Ultra Balls for Deoxys, otherwise, yeah, I may as well just get out of the way. I think you already know what Burf Island is. Not sure how many comments I actually want to make on it until we actually get there, though. What else do I have to do for you, Latios? Do you want Luxury Ball? Is that it? You just want to be pampered this whole time? Or I suppose it's mostly just because I already had a Rayquaza on my PC that capturing the other one was easier. Actually, I'm not sure that's the case, though, as to whether catch rates change depending on whether you've already caught the Pokemon or not. Maybe it's just placebo. Because it always seems as though once you've already caught the Pokemon registered in your Pokédex, it's easier to catch. I'm hoping at least that isn't the case. What more do you want from me, Latios? I don't think I can lower your health any further. Not that I plan to. I think my best bet, if I do have to reset, is just swap into Metagross as soon as Gardevoir goes down. Because I'm pretty sure I could lower its health pretty well with Psychic. At least here's hoping for no special defense drops. You know, assuming that I do have to eventually go out and catch this thing. Or reset. You are champion? Oh, there's Struggle. And that actually did more damage than Psychic or Luster Purge, which is kind of sad. Yeah, we'll just keep going. Keep going. Honestly, with how things going, if it gets to where it uses Struggle, you're probably not going to catch it. At least that's been my experience. You never tend to catch it when it's using Struggle. It's like, you may think that your chance will be better when its health lowers, but from what I can tell, that's not really the case. See what I mean? So yeah, we're probably just gonna have to reset again. Here's hoping that I actually end up using less Ultra Balls this time around, Latios. You selfish little so-and-so. Alright, reset. Let's try this again. Again, we're just gonna keep going until we catch this thing. No reason not to. Imagine if we did end up with one of these last legendaries being a shiny. It's kind of weird when we haven't actually come across any actual shinies yet. I mean, I say that. I think I already mentioned this, but the reward for getting all gold symbols in this Romhack, you do get yourself a free shiny Beldum from Scott. Which, generally I'd say, all things considered, still a nice little reward, even if I kind of spoiled it by bringing over my own shiny Metagross. And here's also to hoping that we actually get a paralysis proc this time. It all comes down to you, God of War. There we go, finally. Now I might actually have a chance. Also kind of found it weird that for Latios and Latias it always just used the standard wild encounter theme. Especially where considering Entei and Raikou had their own unique encounter themes in Crystal. It seems like these two kind of deserve their own unique encounter theme. So I'm not entirely certain as to what it would be. Maybe, part of me really wants to save the theme for Pokemon Master Quest, considering that's the theme that was in Pokemon Heroes, but maybe a little bit too cheesy. I don't think they actually had a unique encounter theme in Oras either. I do also kind of find it funny as well, just they casually just brought South Island back in Oras as soon as you meet up with Steven after getting the 5th badge, and it just takes you to Southern Island and you get a free Latias or Latios. Also kind of find it weird just with regards to the speedrunning community, Oras being just significantly worse than Omega Ruby. I mean, I guess that's just the power of Primal Groudon, really. A Pokemon so overpowered that there's no reason to get the other version, which, again, being the sentimental type whose first game was Sapphire, I ended up getting Alpha Sapphire. I definitely had a good time with it, all things considered, but, again, it was one of those situations where I kind of feel I missed out not getting Omega Ruby because Primal Gordon is just that good. I mean, I could probably just transfer something up or just use it in Showdown, but nah. It's been a long time since I played Showdown, though. I think if I were, I'd probably just stick to probably just the earlier competitive scenes. Maybe Gen 1, which seems to be the most sort of defined, then Gen 2, which I haven't actually experimented around with it, and Gen 3 I feel is just sort of strikes a nice balance where a whole bunch of new and old Pokemon are both good. Like, I can't remember if I already mentioned like something, I think it was Beautifly or Butterfree, which was surprisingly good. I know Rosalia had a place in competitive Gen 3, mostly just because Shiftry got banned because of Sandvale. But even then, that does kind of feel surreal. Just no, not Shiftry, Cacturn. Sorry, my mistake. But yeah, Cacturn being weirdly good because it just there's one ability, which is its only ability, that makes it kind of busted because RNG is everybody's favorite mechanic in Pokemon. Honestly, speaking of RNG, I do definitely want to get back into playing some more cassette beasts at some point. Well, you don't have to put up with any of this nonsense. Latios a tanky? No, it's just Latios. It's just being a, annoying little so-and-so, not getting in the ball, even though he's paralyzed. Like, please, Latios. This is like perfect catching territory in terms of health and statuses. Why aren't you even shaking once? Alright, that's that. Time to switch into Metagross. Here's hoping it doesn't use any more of its recovers. Yeah, I could have sworn that Latios did have a higher catch rate than Rayquaza. Actually, let me check. Let me check. Just want to be absolutely certain about this before I jump to any conclusions. Okay, it's capture rate free, same as Rayquaza. I suppose that explains a lot of things, really. Yeah, catch rate free, which is the same as, at the very least I'd say this is easier to catch than Beldum or Kyogre. Because he's less likely to knock himself out. And I suppose I may as well check the last Pokemon on our list. The one I'm also especially worried about, mostly just because I'm more likely to knock him out. Timer Ball? We'll try it after this. Timer Ball I don't think works quite as well. Okay, it also has a catch rate of 3. So we're just in for a World of Hurt, it seems. My favorite. It's kind of weird he's just not using any of his recovers. I could have sworn he had more of those. Okay, I think it's time for the Timer Ball. Then again, it's kind of weird. Timer Balls, from what I recall, the mileage isn't necessarily worth the investment, really. Never mind, I guess Timer Balls are the best Pokeballs in the game. I like how it's like, oh, Timer Balls are kind of bad, actually, and immediately it's the one that works. You can attack the location that hovers and sense their emotions since it has telepathy. Its intelligence allows it to understand human languages. Can it understand gobbledygook? Oh yeah, and of course, all dreams were never reality, never forget. Could have sworn the Soldu is supposed to be here. Ah well. Kind of a shame, really, but yeah, I could have sworn that the Soldu spawned around here. May as well go check on Latios, see how bad it is. What's the plan now? We still have one more legendary to catch. There's nothing to do. I see you on this forgotten island. What do we say we head back to Lily Cove? Yes, let's get out of here before Robotnik comes and takes it over again. I kind of forget, actually, how many Sonic games actually do take place on South Island? Because you got, of course, both versions of Sonic 1. You have Sonic 2 8-bit. You have, I think Triple Trouble and Sonic Chaos also take place on South Island. Then, of course, you have G-Sonic, or, I suppose Sonic Blast. Maybe Sonic... No, I don't think Sonic Labyrinth takes place on South Island. Alright, let's have a look at Latios. Ah, it is holding the Soldu. And it has an adamant nature, yeah. Meaning it's 100% ill-equipped for using the Soldu. Kalu-Kalay. This is why I kinda wish there was an option for you to actually change out your natures in this game, and your IVs, but I guess not. We have the power of Jiggery Pokery for that. Alright. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda nervous about this last one. Mostly, I'm thinking 84 Ultra Balls might be enough. At least I'm hoping anyway. And now comes the last thing we have to do. You know what, let's bring Rayquaza into this, it seems fitting. I want this to be thematically appropriate. So I think... who do we leave behind? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we're gonna need a Azumarill for this, so, I know you've been the sort of hero of the early game of Azumarill, but it's time. It's no longer the early game. And I want to bring... yeah, Rayquaza's up front. It seems only fitting for him to take the lead. I mean, obviously, I think I already mentioned the other legendaries you could potentially get. For getting all the Master Rank contests, you can get the ticket to Naval Rock to get Ho-Oh and Lugia. And then, for getting all the Silver Frontier symbols, you can find Mewtwo in Alternating Cave. We haven't actually been to Alternating Cave yet, wow. Where would you like to go? Birth Island. Let's finally bring this tragic tale to an end. Watch me catching 2 Ultra Balls. I wasn't sure if any music was playing there for a second. Let me just boost it. Complete silence. I also like how they just keep the little docking stations from Fire and Leaf Green, even though it's obvious the ship would never actually fit in here. As it was obviously meant for, like, the Sea Hopper, I think it was called. But yeah. Why is it quiet? Because we're here at Birth Island. Triangle. I do also kind of like the fact they just keep the music from Fire and Leaf Green for when you actually go to Naval Rock. Alright. Time to play. Oh yeah, I have to do this with input lag as well. Wonderful. Yeah, this might take a little bit. I have Scare. Don't be scared, it'll be fine. Too slow. I think you can just still walk to them. Yeah, you can still walk to them. Means I don't have to worry too much about input lag. What do you want from me, game? I'm trying to do this as best I can with input lag. Starting to think maybe it would be best if I did these, not on the GameCube. What do you want from me, game? I'm gonna get this eventually, mark my words. Game. What do you want from me, game? At least I'm pretty sure this is timed. Yeah, I'm just gonna see. Let's just wait here, see if it actually is timed. Oh, it isn't. Or is it? I've only done this the once, you see, so I'm not 100% certain. I will say at the very least, I do quite like the fact that this triangle made a bit of an Easter egg in Harass as well. At the end of the Delta episode. Okay, so I don't think it actually is timed. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm gonna try saving here. Most confusing puzzle I've ever seen in the game. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh. That's foreboding. And, there he is. Deoxys. We've already heard this theme before with Jirachi, but it's still one of my favorites in the entire game. And he's level 30 still. Wonderful. Definitely worth bringing Rayquaza along for the ride. I'm just thinking, I'm not entirely certain as to whether this thing has recover. I'm gonna assume it does. Snatch. Alright, let's see how much damage a fake out does. I'm expecting if it. Oh, hey, Jonesy would. Okay, so I can't attack this thing at all. Yes, we were in the middle of trying to catch Deoxys. Okay, so we don't have to worry about doing the puzzle again. I was kind of worried about that. Okay, so apparently this one respawns after entering the Hall of Fame, but Groudon and Kyogre don't. Where's the justice in that game? Alright, I suppose we're just gonna have to, pray. This may go on for a fair bit, because we can't deal any damage to this guy. Oh, he has knockoff. I do kind of find it crazy just how prevalent Deoxys has been in competitive, just with the wide plethora of stuff it can do. Like, it obviously has super high attacking stuff with extreme speed, superpower, psycho boost, and it has snatch and knockoff for more defensive utilitarian play. The only thing I will say I don't really like about Deoxys is the new speed form, which was introduced in Emerald. Because before that, you had 3 forms: defense, neutral, and attack. DNA. Which obviously goes into the whole theming for Deoxys. It worked. It worked just fine. It was perfect. Even though neutral form kind of sucks, because there's no reason why you'd ever use it over attack form, given the stat allocation. It would make a bit more sense if Deoxys was, if neutral Deoxys just had more balanced stats, like say for instance a Mew or a Celebi or Jirachi, where aside from health, all of its stats were base 100 across the board. But I guess not. And then of course in Emerald, it just kind of throws an entire spanner into the works by introducing the speed form, so you have DNAS, which, no idea how that's supposed to work. That's not part of the whole DNA mythos. You ruined it for no reason at all. It was kind of weird as well, because speed form is, arguably one of the better forms. I mean, I say that, but I'm pretty sure most people just sort of writes off the defense form and attack form. Mostly just used for suicide plays with, self-delete plays with extreme speed and Psycho Boost and the like. Timer ball? I don't have any timer balls. So yeah, no idea where the speed form really just... But I will say on another note, I really was super happy when Deoxys did show up in Delta episode. It's like I had a feeling. It's like, oh, there's a meteorite coming to Earth and we have to ride on Rayquaza to stop it. I wonder if... And it turned out to actually be the case. Which was a nice surprise, and honestly... I kind of wish that more of the games did that, just sort of done away with the whole mythical Pokemon thing, because... Especially nowadays, it just kind of feels like a very sort of dated thing. Probably even as far back maybe as... I mean, obviously I'd say mythicals in general just never were really a good thing, though I suppose it did sort of, at the very least, add to the prestige of Pokemon like Mew. But I feel at the very least it probably should have been done away with as soon as Gen 4. Because then it's just like, oh... timed DLC, essentially, with the likes of Arceus and Darkrai. Like, there were entire swaths of content which were just locked out because you didn't happen to, turn on the Wi-Fi at the right time. It really just sort of disincentivized you from starting a new save file, which I never really was a fan of, because obviously I would like to go back and replay these games at some point, and because I have these mythicals on my game cartridge, I can't do that. It's like, what's that? You have a copy of Soul Silver on which you got the Latios event? Too bad for you, you gotta not play it again, or at the very least just buy another copy for you to replay, which I suppose is how they get you back in the day. I was really just dwelling on that whole thing from the Cyberpunk stream. The Cyberpunk stream was like, you can't expect me to pay for this thing twice, and of course I said Bethesda, because I was thinking just, how many times could Todd Howard get you to buy Skyrim, and I suppose now Oblivion, when really, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company have been a master of making you pay for something twice. Possibly even 3 times. So obviously, with the rise of DLC, I do at the very least appreciate the, not needing to do a definitive third version anymore, because they could just make the, original games the arguably what it was supposed to be from the start. It's like, for instance, with Emerald Legacy especially, there's no reason really to go back and play Ruby and Sapphire, at least... with the exception of maybe out of a sort of curiosity for differences with the story and such, because there are a little bit, but... Again, generally speaking, outside of some curiosities, like obviously Emerald Sea Glass, which I definitely want to stream at some point. This is still the definitive Gen 3 experience outside of the Gen 1 remakes. Which, I'm just gonna say right now, back in the day, I actually did prefer the Gen 1 remakes to the Hoenn games. I guess it just sort of goes to show just the power and the impact and the staying power of the old Gen 1 Pokemon. That's and Kanto being a better designed region, I suppose, since half the map isn't water. You can sort of see now why I packed so many Ultra Balls. And I don't really feel content in bringing Slacking out into this because, I'll be honest, Hoenn hasn't exactly had the best mileage so far. I mean, I may, you know what? May as well. Black and White remakes. I have heard of the potential of Black and White remakes, and I think I'm with most people when I'd really rather not have Gen 5 remakes. Especially if the Gen 4 remakes, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl or anything go by, because those were just... they're maddening, really. It's like, oh, you can't be mad at them because they're super faithful to the originals. It's like, yeah, but the originals weren't all that good. I'm sorry, but Diamond and Pearl aren't exactly the best that Gen 4 has to offer. That would go to Platinum and the Gen 2 remakes. It feels especially bad, especially compared to, say, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because those did right by the original games they were based on, sure, but also added a whole bunch of stuff. To sort of make them more the definitive versions of the Gen 2 experience, if that makes any sense. But then again, I think for most people, or at very least for me, Crystal Legacy might still take that honor. At least there I don't have to worry about natures. It does sort of remind me as well, I did definitely want to stream Crystal Legacy at some point. Again, just really want to play through a whole bunch of these old Pokemon games. Yeah, I had a feeling this was gonna be rough going. It would be funny if we did actually run out of Ultra Balls before the fight ended. It's also kind of a shame that I ran out of Nest Balls, because I probably would have... this probably would have been the fight to use them. At least I won't have to worry about this for a while whilst I'm playing through the Explorers of Sky. Oh, that was so close. He's hardly doing any damage as well, which is kind of the saddest part. It's like, if I could actually use items in battle, then I wouldn't have to worry in the slightest. It does also seem weird to me in hindsight that Emerald was the only Gen 3 game where you could actually catch Mew. It's like, it didn't even come with a bonus disc, like Colosseum did, where you could get either Celebi or Jirachi depending on your region, which... still kind of salty we never got the Celebi bonus disc, considering we got Pokemon Channel. A game which I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to stream because my channel would likely just be glassed off the face of the earth. Probably could get a couple of laughs out of Pokemon Channel at the very least, but it is very much a more slow-paced, slice-of-life-y sort of game. So I'm not... It's a game that's, I think you're supposed to really play over multiple days. So I'm not entirely certain as to whether it would make for good streaming content is the thing as well. It would probably be fun, just mess around with that bit of stuff. But again, I'm pretty certain I'm not allowed, I wouldn't be allowed to watch the anime portions, which would honestly kind of be the most fun part. It's kind of weird as well, because I don't think that Pokemon Channel was actually released in the Americas. I think it was mostly just a strictly European thing, where you get this game and you suffer through it, and you get a Jirachi at the end.
How long is this gonna go on?
Oh, that's nice. I was looking at it. Looking at a long play Pokemon Channel, it's only like 2.5 hours long. I think if I was actually going to do a playthrough of it, it probably wouldn't even... It'd probably only last long enough for a single stream. Hey. I will admit, though, I do weirdly have this sort of weird sense of nostalgia for Pokemon Channel, even though it wasn't exactly the best. Dry throat. Alright, can I at the very least try and get another yawn off? Not even enough pee-pee. Alright, I guess we're just sort of stuck here. Observe as I fail to catch this Deoxys for several hours. You know what, let's go, Salamence. Make sure your knockoffs and pursuits do even less damage, hey. You're gonna wonder what this thing's moveset even is. Okay, there is a Psyche at the very least, so it's Snatch, Pursuit, Knockoff, and Psychic. Seems like a fairly generic Deoxys moveset if you ask me. Honestly, thinking maybe I should have packed False Swipe for this, that probably would have been smarter. I think I even have False Swipe, I'm pretty sure I could also get another T... I don't remember whether False Swipe is a TM in this game or not. If we fail to catch Deoxys this time, then I'll check to see if we can actually get False Swipe, because I think it's a TM in this game. At least 80% certain. I suppose, on the topic of Deoxys, I do definitely have a lot of fond memories of the film Destiny Deoxys. Mostly just I like the music, I like the futuristic setting, though I do kind of find it funny how it's basically just an advertisement against the usage of wind power, because it's like the whole city's on the shoreline, it's powered by all these windmills. They're just on a bank and not even offshore, as is the case with most of our coastlines. And as soon as Deoxys comes around and puts a barrier over the city, the wind turbines stop working, and the sea has a blackout. And it's just like, yeah, that's pretty much what I'd expect. Windmills not exactly being the most reliable source of renewable energy, because they aren't generating power if there's no wind. And of course they have to resolve it by teaming up with the resident electrical Pokemon. Which, again, oh, there's the struggle. I was gonna say, it does sort of remind me a fair bit as well of, the anime as well, where there's just have, like, a whole bunch of Pikachus in the back, just as a backup generator, and I'm just like, are they getting compensated for this in any way, shape, or form? Or they're just sort of stuck back there and, are forced to work the generator night and day until the main generator is fixed again. Who actually supplies a lot of the electricity, I gotta wonder? How is a lot of electricity in the Pokemon world generated? Is it just electric-type Pokemon, and do they get compensated for that? You gotta wonder. Well, at the very least, we're at the point where it will use Struggle before I run out of Ultra Balls, so that's a nice little touch. I'm gonna reset real quick. I know that's probably ill-advised, but at the same time, I want to check as to whether I have a False Swipe. If I have False Swipe, I can teach that to Sceptile and make this easier. Nope, don't have False Swipe. I could have sworn it was a TM in this game. Hold up. It sucks as well because I don't have anything which can actually, I mean, worst case scenario, I could probably just swap back and get something else. Yeah, it doesn't look like, False Swipe is a TM in this game. Bit of a shame. Alright, I'm gonna go back, use a heart scale. Yes, I want to return to Lilyco for the time being. Gonna get False Swipe on Sceptile. I want to check actually if I have something that can learn Thunder Wave, or at the very least has Thunder Wave. Because I think that would be useful. Yeah. At least more so than Sleep is at this point. Okay. I think Zapdos has Thunder Wave. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Does Raikou have Thunder Wave? No, it doesn't. Does anything in this thing have Thunder Wave? I'm looking for brave volunteers to lay down their lives to get paralysis on Deoxys. Magnemite, that'll probably do. Sorry, Slacking. I'm just thinking I'm probably gonna have to do the puzzle again, aren't I? Great. At least I have a faint idea as to what I'm supposed to be doing now. I could probably swap out Rayquaza, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but nah. Just there for thematic purposes, I suppose. Do I actually have something in my PC that has False Swipe? May as well check first. This is normally when I would end the stream, but I want to end this with us catching Deoxys, so we're gonna keep going. Alright, let me just have a look through here. Does anything have False Swipe? Because we want to finish it off with False Swipe. I suppose nothing in the first box, that would be kind of silly. Anything over here that has False Swipe? No. Oh, Raichu also has Thunder Wave. No. Not even Absol, huh? Oh yeah, that's an interesting question. What do they do with Razor Wind? Okay, it's just a trapping move now. Because I know for a long time they had no idea as to what to actually do with Razor Wind. Because Razor Wind has historically just been not a very good move. Especially compared to a whole bunch of other normal type moves that are in the game. Right, Nope, doesn't look like we have any, doesn't look like we have any false swipers, so we're just gonna have to make do. Gonna have to make do. Pretty sure I have a heart scale at the very least. Please give me your infinite wisdom. I don't have a heart scale. Ah. And I was thinking I was being smart. Right. I think we're gonna test this actually to see if there's any Pokemon that can deal damage to it that won't knock Deoxys out. It's like the opposite of damage calculations. I think the best bets going in would probably be Metagross with Psychic. Let's try this again. Because the thing is, it's level 30 with base defenses of 50. That's like incredibly frail. Alright, let's try this. Psychic. Even that wasn't... Even that was too much. Like, I don't want to do the puzzle again. So what do? We don't have timer balls. Let's see, Fake Out is too strong. I have a feeling Brick Break will be too strong. Psychic is too strong. Let's just try again and hope it works. Who knows, I might get lucky. Somehow I knew it was gonna end like this. Okay, let's just... Yeah, we're just gonna keep going at this again. It's gotta work eventually. We don't have timer balls. What do I have to keep saying that for? All we have is Ultra Balls. And you know what? I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna go back. I don't want to go back. You can't make me. And I'd rather you not keep count of the Ultra Balls and just spamming up the chat with that. We only had one. Yeah, I'd appreciate you not keeping count, Dinoise. If you please. Alright, I did ask, so, I'm gonna ask again if you could please stop. I'm being serious. Thank you. Well, I mean, after that, I kind of feel a little bit drained, to be perfectly honest. Just, I was hoping that this would be a nice little one-and-done thing, that we'd be out of here, and then I'd just finally put this series behind me, and then, you know, go on holiday, and then come back, and then start up on Explorers of Sky, but... Of course, we have to get past this first. And it's not really even any challenge in it, it's just me just... I could probably just do that one, like, thing from The Simpsons where it just has, like, the bobbing bird thing, just hitting the same key over and over. Actually, I do gotta wonder, is this thing... Oh, it does have a turbo mode. So I'm just thinking, I could... Let me just check out the back here. Yeah, I think this does have a, At least I'm fairly certain this is supposed to have a turbo mode. I'm gonna check real quick whilst we're here. Apologies for the lack of commentary, just... Okay, legacy, controller, it's this one. Oh, it was allegedly on Amazon. Turbo mode is... No, not on this ROM, just on the... I'm trying to see if it actually does have a turbo mode on my control, because I'm pretty certain it's supposed to do so. Let's have a look here real quick. Again, I am pretty sure this is supposed to have a turbo mode, but... Maybe it doesn't have a turbo mode, maybe I'm just, misremembering. Oh! There we go! Video avatar on YouTube is beautiful. Thanks a bunch. I worked on it. There we go. I'm not entirely certain as to whether I have to keep him hold down or not, but I'm just gonna take it off for the time being. Okay, so I do have to keep him held down. Or at least I can just do this and not just... It's like there's barely any interaction involved anymore. It's just me, sitting here waiting for this this whole ordeal to end eventually. Okay, so the turbo mode is that you have to hold it down in order for it to work. Gotcha game, gotcha game. So I can just hold the A button down. It's sort of like playing actual Pokemon in a way, where you have to mash the A button in order for the Pokeball to do its work better, even though that doesn't actually work. Yeah, at the very least I got that out of the way. Must imagine this would be pretty crazy to smash. Did I make... No, I... It was technically a, commission of sorts. Design is technically mine, at least. You should see it in the description. Well, I mean, I kind of wish I didn't figure out the turbo mode until now. It just makes these catching things seem a fair bit less tedious, really, because I could just hold the button down. I will admit, I definitely, oh. Yeah, I will definitely admit that Turbo Mode would have probably just made this a lot less strenuous. Commentary. You can put some... Yeah, I am doing Turbo Mode. Just me holding the A button down and just sitting here not really doing much. I mean, saying this, I do at the very least hope that people still want me to do Pokemon days, even though this sort of thing kind of drags on a little bit. Commentary, this... Yeah, I got apologies, just, this whole thing kind of just been leaving me quite drained. Not gonna lie. I'm at least hoping if I do end up doing any more Pokemon games, I don't end up the moment you catch is going to be so satisfying. At least, oh yeah. Assuming we get there. At least I'm hoping we get there. It'd be kind of sad if we didn't. There isn't even any fighting, it's just me lobbing Ultra Balls and hoping they stick. Again, riveting. All me just holding down a button. I am probably gonna have to remember to switch this off though, but then again, are there actually any, oh. Finally got Deoxys. And we can finally wave goodbye to this island. Let's head back to Lily Cove and see what we got. I'm suspecting Deoxys is gonna have a terrible nature in IVs, because all the legendaries apparently have. I suppose in this Romhack it is quite neat that all the mythicals at the very least are actually usable in the Battle Frontier, so you can just go in there with Deoxys, Celebi, and Jirachi. Turbo Mode saved the day. Okay, Turbo Mode off. Modest nature. Actually, that's not terrible. That's not a terrible setup for Deoxys. It actually has decent IVs, a good nature. I'm actually kind of happy with that. Oh yeah, I did definitely take a fair few Ultra Balls, but I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that, at least in the streaming series. I'll probably have to worry about that on my own time when I eventually do go after the likes of Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Mewtwo, but that's not in the confines of this streaming series. Again, I suppose at the very least this whole thing has been a learning experience of what should and shouldn't go into my Pokémon Day streams. What's the plan now? That's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. We've already gone over time, so... Just, I'm guessing catching Deoxys was a fairly decent climax, even though it sort of dragged out a fair bit.
Incredible! You caught Deoxys, didn't you? I've been studying the meteorite while you were away, and I think there's a strange connection between it and Deoxys. Can you feel it? It's as if they resonate. I'd like to see what happens if we expose it to this meteorite.
So yeah, by showing the meteorite... Yeah. Effectively... You can now cycle between all the various Deoxys forms, though in this case, there's not really any reason not to stick with attack form. Especially with Modest and Modest Nature, that's basically the best outside of maybe Rash for extreme speed. Because of course, Deoxys has different move sets and move learn sets depending on which form it's in. Like in attack form it gets superpower, in speed form it gets extreme speed, and in defensive form it gets counter and mirror codes. Again, I kind of feel that normal form really needed something to make it more defined compared to attack and defense, maybe something a fair bit more balanced, as opposed to just being Diet Coke attack form, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, I'm probably just gonna go and do a little bit more of this in my off time. Honestly, playing a fair bit more of this while I'm on holiday is probably gonna be a treat, honestly. Sorry for the time. No, it's fine, it's just, I got a little heated. I appreciate the concern, I just want to, get this done. I do have a habit of brute forcing these things, but I was gonna go to sleep at Little Root Town and just bring this whole thing to a rest, but honestly, when I did that last time, I sort of got a copyright flag in it because for some reason the Little Root Town theme is copyrighted, so... oh yeah, I think there might be something at Mount Pyre now, since we already fought, Archie and Max, so we may as well end on that. And on a climactic note, because of course we did away with fighting Maxie and Archie, and I think at this point now they plan on returning the orbs to Mount Pyre. Let's get Slacking, and let's go check. Where did I put Slacking? Slacking! You here, buddy? Hello? Oh, there was a zoom roll. Of course I'm gonna need a zoom roll to go to Mount Pyre. Time to sleep? After this. Because I feel taking a bounce back to Mount Pyre would be fitting to wrap this all up. It would be nice if we could fight Zinnia again, though. Because especially with that battle theme, it would be kind of a waste to only be able to listen to that once. Suppose I'm just gonna have to make do with the normal repels from here on out. Still got a fair few, should be enough to get us up to the top of Mount Pyre. Yeah, I'm also gonna miss this Turbo Surf. I think you can also catch Ghastlies in here now. Where's the Beastie Clay? Here's the Beastie Clay. And again, I think we already got enough mileage out of this with Sky Pillar last part. Let's head up here and, yep, there they are. Bye, fellas.
Stand.
Okay, bye.
Those two men who took the orbs came to return them on their own. Those men. Perhaps they're not so evil after all. Pokemon have taught us that.
Well, suppose that's nice at the very least. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll have another chance off stream to catch Kyogre, but somehow I doubt it. But thank you so much for bearing with me through these Pokemon Emerald Legacy streams. It's certainly been a treat going through this, and I'm looking forward to playing through more of it in my own time. There's gonna be no PokéMon stream next week because I'm gonna be on holiday. But the week after that, when I come back, we're gonna start on Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky because, of course, people would want to see me do that. Why wouldn't they? But until then, thank you for tuning in and bearing with me. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.